but he's leaving it. I'm not sure if we're going to be completely live here, but we're going to be treating it like it is live right now. That was a very odd move at the moment, but we are going to be seeing Axolut trying to push around very, very hard over here onto this highway side. Not going to be doing anything at all. Gets taken down by two players from V2. Now V2 is going to be a little bit of a issue place right now as they're kind of squished between A and C flag. We do see one going to be burning out onto A flag. It's going to be Evangel. And maybe they left that C flag alone on purpose just because they wanted that A burn for themselves. I have seen teams do that before just because it's positionally better. I would not agree that it is positionally better, but hey, it might be. Now we're going to be seeing Axolut pushing down into B flag. Three players are going to be on that burn. Should be able to get it here really, really fast right now. Angel, though, coming around the corner, able to pick up one. Will not be able to pick up the second one. Has to back up and heal up very, very fast. That fire is actually hurting him. Something that is very annoying, guys. The environment will be hurting you in this map. Don't like it whatsoever on that B flag.
I'm not a fan of that either.
Yeah, but now it's looking like Axolut getting pinned back into A flag. We do see B starting to flash, but they've overcommitted, I think, a little bit too much over there. We're seeing four players going on to B flag. A gets picked off, and now V2 is V2 looks like they're going to be playing a little bit more of a flag hopping scenario. They're not trying to set up any kind of a front line, any kind of a holding area. They're just kind of trying to get on flags.
Yes, as I did finally get in the server, and we are watching the V2 AXT match. I'm watching from, looks like, CEVO-BF4's perspective. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce his name, and it looks like we could see V2 potentially getting a triple cap here, as AXT taking a bit too much time to get on one of the burns. We do see Supreme solo on the Bravo flag, trying to take control of that linchpin point on this map, as they already control Alpha and Charlie, taking some pot shots out at the barrier there beyond the busted semi. And they will take control of Bravo. It's a triple cap for V2 early on in this round. Not a good sign for AXT.
No, it is not. But, you know, they should be able to get C here pretty soon. And there's a chance for them to get some back spawns here in just a second. Zex may be able to hold that off, and I think that they're going to be fine on those back spawns. Did we drop a player for... No, because say Axolut... one of their players has not been spawning in for the longest time. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Finally going to be getting back in right here over onto side streets and going to be trying to push up through showroom floor. But this is kind of the position that I would imagine that they would want if they can use those rooftops. We're not seeing any rooftop play whatsoever at all through either of these teams. Remember, guys, rooftops are allowed. And one of the things that we have been seeing in match comms are teams agreeing not to play rooftops. So we're having a little bit of a gentleman's agreement going back and forth of not to use minis and not to use rooftops. Although we can't enforce those rules, it's cool seeing the teams kind of agreeing to that.
Yeah, as long as they stick to it, it is nice to see teams kind of agreeing to a rule set and a gameplay that they find most conducive to really finding out who's the better team, who has the more skill. As we do see right now, it looks like V2 winning the frag battle, although not by much, 29-16 to 17-25 for AXT. A 165 to 115 ticket lead, though, for V2 Actual, and it looks like AXT is going to need to make a move. They're playing kind of passive. We've got two guys holding C, and it looks like a three-man spawn on Alpha, probably going to make a push now. Let's watch from Okator's perspective. Oh, he goes down immediately, did not see them. We see a flank from Pro. He's going to take down Zex from behind, try to revive his teammate. He does get Okator up, and they will take control of Alpha. It's an Alpha. Whoop. No, we do see a flank from Evangel. He's going to clean things up on Alpha. So nice job by Evangel to not allow them to take control of it.
Yeah, and you know, right now we need to see Axolut pressing B at the moment. They're not. We got Pro Zenitary sitting over here, not pressing B. Finally, he's going to be getting on the burn. He's still not on the burn. He's behind B flag. He needs to get on it now.
There he is. Now
guys,
he's on it.
Here's the thing. It's not just to get the burn, but it's to pull people back off of C flag. And he was too late, as we did see three players getting up on that C burn, able to basically wipe out the entire team. And it's really, really bad, not conducive to them to just kind of play defensively. They got to make something happen. It's 87 to 160. It's about almost 100. It's an 80 ticket deficit at the moment, so you cannot be playing this defensive play.
No, they've got to be much more aggressive, and I think you made a huge point there, Brett. He was kind of lurking on the outside of the Bravo burn, not making his presence known, which, like you said, could have relieved some pressure on C, perhaps allow his teammates to make a move, as we do see heavy back spawns from AXT. Going to take Charlie with ease, but they need to make a move to establish control of that Bravo flag, which they haven't really held much at all in this round. And again, that is that linchpin point on this map. If you want to have any chance of winning this map, you really need to hold B for a significant amount of time and make your plays on the other two flags, A and C.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not looking like, you know, Axolot's really able to get out of that C burn right now. V2 doing a really good job of pinning him in there. Look at that line that they have right now. They have 2 sitting over on Statue, 1 sitting out over there onto Highway, and the other 2, or 1 sitting by Showroom and the other 1 sitting behind B. That's a nice line sitting right there. And one of the reasons why I like not using the roofs on Shanghai is we're seeing, because you can kind of cut that map in half, and you can play it from both sides. You can both play from C and B and from A by basically this same setup, just switching it back over. And Axolot just seemingly not able to get out of it at the moment, as they just can't win their gunfights right now. They're losing just about every one of their one-on-ones, as Cue Ball 13-7, Evangel 11-5, and Sky going 10-4. So definitely doing some very, very heavy fragging over there on their team. And it's just causing a lot of issues right now for Axolot, as they're making a 5-man push right now onto B flag. So if they can make this thing happen and wipe out the majority of V2, which they are doing so, 3 players from V2 go down onto B flag. That's huge right there. If V2 does not push C, which they are pushing C, so playing very, very smart with Supreme and Sky.
Yeah, great play there by Axolut Gaming. They really, as we said, they needed to take control, but they're leaving C wide open. As soon as they take Bravo, like you said, Brett, they committed with, I believe, their entire team in order to take Bravo, leaving Charlie wide open, but wisely looking to move towards Alpha, perhaps set up an A-B hold. We're going to watch from Okathor's perspective. Come around the corner, taking out Evangel. That's 1 down. Looks like he's running the Scar. He's going to drop a mini nade out the hallway. He's got to drop back as he's got a nade in the face of his own. It's 2 of them there. It looks like we've got Cue Ball and Evangel back up on the Alpha flag, taking control of it. It's an AC hold right now for V2 as they are looking to whittle down the final 30 tickets of Axolut. Okathor goes down. Nice shot by Cue Ball. Oh, it's a double kill. Takes down Pro. Great play to clean up shop on Alpha by Cue Ball.
Yeah, and now we're going to be seeing that double gimme situation right here by V2. They're going to be pressing them back over onto B flag. Now, trying to get some kind of a back rage going on. We did see Okathor gets taken down in the backfield, but he had a chance to really cause some trouble there. Now we're going to be seeing, man, I tell you what, right now, V2, they're just everywhere on the map, and they're hitting every one of their shots. It's all there is to it right now. And we're actually seeing some ACR play at the moment by a couple of the Axolot players, as we're seeing some mix-up on guns. Just thought I'd mention that real quick, as some AEKs, Scars, and ACRs are all being used.
Yeah, really kind of diverse set of weapons being used. This is one of those maps that where it kind of depends on what position you want to play. If you want to play at range, you could certainly employ a Scar. If you want to run gun, you can use that AEK. Oh, as we do see Pro finally getting himself a nice double kill, taking out Zex and Sky. But he goes down, and the final 2 tickets are going to wind down. 145 ticket victory in round 1 for V2 Actual. Another commanding win, and we're seeing kind of the cream rise to the top tonight, Brett, as Lights Out did much of the same in the previous round in this first match we did tonight.
Yeah, you know, and it just may be conducive for that particular map. Now, we will be seeing 1 player dropping for Axolot Gaming, so they may be trying to sub 1 player out, where they just, you know, he just dropped connection, which does happen quite a bit. Unfortunately, you know, it may be due to the fact that they're using the V2 server. They're supposed to use their server, but due to some issues with the spectator side of things, we did have to switch it up. So, you know, with that happening, we're having 1 player that's 200 pings, which could definitely, you know, be the reason why they're having such a hard time of getting those frags with such high pings right now. But looking over on the other side, V2, they're still kind of high up on the board too as well on their pings, but doing very well in the frag set, as we're seeing 19-8 by Cue Ball, 12-8 by Zex, 13-7 by Sky and Evangel, with 15-7. I believe, before the screen went blank there. But it's going to be 145 tickets, the ticket count to beat. I would imagine that I would just go ahead and say that the map 1 is lost. And honestly, at this point, they don't need to be worrying about that last round loss. They have another map that's going to be coming up. They just need to get this done and over with, and move on. And hopefully, their next map they'll be a lot better on, and maybe make a lot more headway.
Yeah, certainly not out of it with this best of three format. They have a chance to come back if they pick a good map that's conducive to their style and their gameplay and that they're prepared on. But at this point, it's looking like V2 going to cruise to an easy victory on Shanghai as it favors the frag heavy, the Slayers. And Axolot's still down a man, curiously down a man, not really sure where he went, if he's coming back. Hopefully we do see him come back soon. Certainly don't like seeing teams have to play down a man, and it looks like we might not be live as I don't think everyone has spawned in, Brett.
Yeah, we are not going to be going live on this round, so we're going to be waiting for them to get in the round. Some good sports right there. But as we are waiting, let's take a look at the brackets as we're seeing some updates. And a huge thing right here, Project Mayhem took out Exertus NA 2-0. And they are going to be moving on. Yeah, they are going to be moving on in the next for round number 2 against Vivacity Esports. So that's actually a really huge deal. And honestly, it's because they've lost their roster. They don't have Troy, they don't have Nimic, and they didn't have. Well, I think they actually had Clicks in there for a little bit, but he hasn't played in so long that he's really been out of sync and out of practice with the new lineup that they had. Plus, they had Mad Dog subbing in there. So I mean that. Like I said before, Mad Dog, it's not that he is a bad player. It's just he's the owner. He's not supposed to play. So, I mean, honestly, you can't expect to do anything from that. And if that's what's going to happen throughout the entirety of this tournament, that's not going to be good. We may be seeing Exertus NA getting bumped out real quick. So, at the moment, guys, we are going to be waiting for that last and final player to get in for Axolut Gaming. I'm not really sure where he is at the moment, but yeah, this is going to be V2 Actual versus Axolut Gaming. Something that I didn't check before. Oh no, I didn't. I'm a bad co-commentator. We will be finishing up this match here in just a few seconds. Apparently, Mess has gone to a bathroom break, so he's left me here all by my lonesome. And he did leave it on the brackets, it looked like. So definitely some cool stuff going on in the brackets, some upsets. I'm excited about that.
All right, I'm back, guys. Had to take a little break to the little boy's room. It looks like we are still waiting on Axolot's 5th to get back in the server. And I do want to take a moment to apologize to any choppiness that might be being experienced in the stream. I believe that is on my end. It's a combination of weird internet and some dropped frames. Again, I have been kind of thrust into this stream control role because of Brett's defective internet at the moment, but he does have someone coming to take a look at it. I believe it's sometime in the next couple of days, so hopefully that'll get fixed.
So I like how you just kind of brush that off as my fault.
No, I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm just trying to say that I'm not necessarily.
My stream is bad, but it's because Brett just all of a sudden had his internet go bad.
Yeah, my internet is bad because of you, Brett. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Apparently, it's my fault. So, I mean, I take full responsibility for it, guys. I apologize.
That's why the stream is bad, Brett. The stream is bad because Brett's not doing it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so in another update on the brackets, we do have Nexus BF4 NA taking to against Team Crimson. Will be moving on themselves in the winners bracket. Crimson will be falling down, of course, into the losers bracket. One of the things that I like about having double elimination is that if you do lose that first time, I mean you just spent 5 weeks in a season. You don't want to just be wiped out right away. So double elimination also gives you a bit of a chance to kind of come back. And I have seen teams that got knocked out in the first round make it all the way up to the finals. So we'll see if we'll be able to see that again for this particular tournament. But in the losers bracket, we will be having a couple of matchups that I believe will be forfeits, unfortunately, as Mortality Esports is done with with Battlefield. I think they announced this
A while ago.
I think in the fourth week of CEVO, they announced that they were pretty much done with Battlefield, and they will not be playing. So Wicked Gaming gets a free pass onto round number 2, and we haven't figured out who is going to be playing in for the rest of those. Exertus NA is going to get a bye for Sunday, as well as Nexus BF4 SA, who is once again bouncing out for Battlefield 4. So whoever gets them, Nexus SA,
easy win.
Yeah, next Wednesday is going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, so we are waiting for, I believe, the second round of the first map in this matchup between V2 Actual and Axolut Gaming. Again, V2 taking the first round convincingly. Not looking like Axolut's going to be able to put up much of a fight on Siege of Shanghai, but again, best of 3 format, so potentially able to come back on the second map if they choose wisely and they are prepared for it to force a potential tiebreaker. Again, we've moved to this best of 3 format. 200 tickets now per round instead of 250. Still the ticket aggregate to decide the map. But I really do like this best of 3 format, even though we've seen a bit lopsided gameplay tonight. It is the first round of the playoffs. You're going to see that. The teams that have done extremely well are going to be matched up to the teams that just kind of squeaked in on the bubble. So you're going to see some kind of lopsided games. And then the Browns moving on, of course, Sunday, Wednesday, that's when the matches are going to be. We're going to stick with that schedule. Will be a lot better, so you'll definitely want to tune in for those as we move forward here in the playoffs.
Yeah, so once again, we have switched over to lockers for whatever reason. I'm not sure if it's the same problem as we had before, where they're thinking that we're supposed to be playing only one side of each map. The reason, guys, why we're not playing just one side of each map is because there are particular maps where, like on Siege of Shanghai, you do have an advantage, a side advantage, where you can get a considerable lead from the get-go, out there, and that does help out a lot of, because you can get 30 tickets, 40 tickets sometimes in a lead, and if the other team messes up on a couple of their frags, you can definitely see it even stretch out further than that. Dawnbreaker is the same way, as you definitely see the Chinese side getting out to an early lead, and a lot of times, they'll be able to flip it on them and get a 30, 40, point lead, ticket lead on the other team. So that is why we're going to be playing both sides of the map as opposed to just one. As I know a lot of people say that it doesn't really make a difference, but it does. So right now I'm just trying to figure out what exactly is going on, because I think we're still missing... No, we do have the 5th player from Axolut Gaming.
Like they might be prepared to go live. Are you in contact with the teams to perhaps tell them? I mean, we could certainly move on if perhaps Axolut decided to concede the second round. I could see that being the chance, being the possibility to say, hey, look, guys, we know we're not going to win this next round. Let's just move on to the next map. Perhaps that's the case, Brett. Maybe not the misunderstanding we thought. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but it looks like this one's going to be live right here. So we're just going to be casting on this live, guys. They may have conceded that last round. That is a very big possibility. But at the moment, we're going to be seeing Axolut pushing very hard into B flag over here from A. They are going to be able to, of course, get A flag, and nobody going out to see Oakenthor. The only one that's going to be trying to defend that area up on hill, he's going to be late to the party, just basically giving away that helipad to that team. And it looks like Axolut was trying to go for a first or an early AB hold, which is kind of dangerous.
Oof. Yeah, Oakenthor, he had a nice play there. He took one out and was able to get one, but a nice rotation by Evangel takes out Oakenthor, gets the revive to maintain control of C. So a good play there by V2 on the start. Going to be a BC hold. And Brett, this is one of those maps where there isn't necessarily a standard hold that you always go for. I mean, we've seen strong holds CB, AC, or even AB. Wouldn't you agree?
No, I would disagree.
Oh! I would say, how could you?
I would say that we definitely would see or prefer an AC hold. You see the majority of the teams going for that AC hold. They don't have to have it, because you can also work it as an AB. I've also seen it as a BC, although BC is a lot harder than the other two holds, just because of the way the spawns work out. One of the reasons why you don't want to have B is because of that back B spawn, which we are seeing. We actually saw a couple of the V2 guys take advantage of, and now they are going to be able to take B back themselves with Axolut kind of playing from behind. I would like to see Axolut, though, try and swing out onto C flag right now. We're only seeing one player from V2. He's going to be up there onto Fan at the moment. And I kind of like to see them push out. Yeah, I would kind of like to see Axolut kind of push out towards that C flag. Stop trying to go into B all the time, because you could hold onto A with 2 players very easily. You can have one in med lab watching down. He can watch down cuts. You can also watch the backside, as well as one player just sitting over on the X-ray watching the metal detector area. So you can pretty much cut down or cut off all traffic right there, while your other 2 players are going to be pushing onto C. And Axolut is getting boxed in really bad right now. We're seeing V2 being able to spread out, very diagonally across, and really not having to worry about any kind of push at all. They got one player sitting over into J, who's just chilling out there. In fact, he probably is going to get a couple of back rages going on if Axolot's not expecting it. It doesn't look like they are, so there you go. That's going to be a free kill right there for V2.
Look what I found, taking out Prox. Oh, he doesn't see the second one. Oh, but he does take him out with that high rate of fire with that AK. Just barely survives, but he does get taken down by, let's see who that was. That was Seal Sir over there at the metal detector. Is going to push into Alpha. Although they already have control. It's interesting, Brett, that you said they basically completely abandoned C, and I think that is a huge mistake, as you said. The AC hold, one of the easier ones on this map. When you go in for Bravo, you're kind of banging your head against a brick wall, but it's a 3-man push for them onto Bravo as Prox goes down to, I think it's Zex. He's going to maintain control. He's going to catch Okathor sleeping from behind. That's a 2-piece, I think, for Zex as they maintain control of Bravo, getting the revive. Nice play by Zex there over on B.
Yeah, one of the other issues that you have with holding that B flag is that it's a 2-story area. So not only do you have to worry about one floor, but you have to worry above you. You have to worry about below you. So there's a lot of entrance points to B flag that's difficult to hold on, and that is a huge reason as to why B flag is not normally the one that you want to hold. Although it's working very, very well for V2 here. They've been playing this very, very well. Just because Axolut is just too defensive at the moment. They're sitting with 3 players that are sitting back, not doing absolutely anything. Now we did see a nice 2-piece getting picked up over there into mid. So Axolut making another play over here for B flag. Let's see if it's actually successful, because all of a sudden, bam, 3 players just spawned in the backfield for V2.
Yeah, I think that they finally took a page out of your book, Brett. Took a little bit of your advice and pushed on to C, but we did see a nice double kill by Q-Ball, and finally a trade-off over at Bravo as Axel was able to take control of it, but getting the max spawns RV2. Watching from Zex's perspective, he's just kind of hanging out on that burn, hoping his teammates can get it, as we do see one coming around as Okathor. Is he going to get him? Oh, he doesn't see him! Oh, and they do trade. It looks like it was a Scar there he's trading with him on. And B is going to be won out by Axolut. So we do have an AB hold finally getting the burn. Our Axolut, see what they can do with it. They need to get entrenched, but it looks like A is wide open. It's a quick push by Q-Ball, getting up on the burn, jumping in the med lab. He's got Kermit there in his sights, takes down Kermit. Could he get another one? And, it's surprising. As soon as they get some momentum and take B, it looks like they're going to lose Alpha.
Yeah, and, but maybe this is what they needed. Maybe this will wake them up a little bit, because they got to push out towards C flag, which they haven't done really a whole lot the entire match. They've put maybe 1 or 2 guys out there just to test the waters. They're getting wiped, and then they just leave it alone. I mean, look at that. They have 2 players from V2 who are just sitting out there that are doing nothing. In fact, one player from V2, I think it was Q-Ball, actually sat out there for a good 3 minutes without seeing a single person. And that right there is not something that you want if you're the other team, because that just means that you're stuck in one area of the map. Now, they are going to be over onto this B burn, which means that a lot of their random spawns are going to be back behind them. And it's going to lock up into this B push. Now, we do see a push going up into A flag right now by Kermit. Does end up getting taken down by Sky. If he had some backup right now into mid, this is so frustrating right now because there's 2 players sitting into mid right now that could have pushed into A, wiped out med lab, and then they could have had an AB hold.
Yeah, so we're watching from Pro's perspective. At this point, it's AC in favor of V2. We're going to see a bit of a potential back rage here. He's trying to get on from the elevator side into the back of Med Bay. Pro coming around. He's got 2 of his teammates coming in from the front side of Mesquite, and it does look like they are going to take control of Alpha. I believe they have wiped it over there. But
and a good rotation right now from V2, though, sending 2 players, or 3 players actually, immediately to B flag. So as soon as A was lost, they were already sending players onto B. And that's the way you have to play this map. Yes, you do want to hold certain flags, but remember, guys, you cannot go back and save flags. It takes way too long to save flags on this particular game mode. So being able to shift, rotate around, grab B was huge.
is you're much better off rotating to the next flag than you are trying to move back and contest them taking a previous flag, because usually they're reinforced there anyways, 2, 3, sometimes even more. As we do see Sealser takes down one, and they got the lights off on the Alpha flag. And again, we see AXT just not able to hold on to 2 flags for very long. And kudos to Q-Ball, who's basically been maintaining control of that C flag all on his lonesome with that Scar H on the outside.
Yeah, he has. But you know, one thing that we haven't been seeing from Axolut is that they haven't been pressing C, and now they finally are. So here is the time that we need to see Axolut getting that AC hold and just locking it down. We need to see a guy up on hill. We need to see another guy over onto fan, and then 1 over into J and 2 into A flag. So that is the setup that we need to be seeing right now. They are going to be holding it off for a little bit, but once
they
again,
left J open. Look at this. They've left J completely open, and again, V2 is going to move up into that position. We see Supreme in that position. And he gets a nade out back towards the gate area. He's going to try to get in the cut and potentially move into medbay and take control of Alpha. It looks like he's slow playing a little bit. V2 did have an opening there, perhaps not aware of it, but meanwhile, it looks like they have cleaned up over on C. We see Q-Ball right on position. Oh, he cannot take down Axolut, and it looks like that's Pro. So they are going to maintain control of C, but we're going to see a coordinated push from V2 onto Alpha.
It was also a beautiful hold on A. They held off a 3-man push onto A flag, and they might be doing it once again, as Supreme is the only one left for V2, going to be up onto J, and now a back rage coming in from Pro. Oh, beautiful right there, getting a nice 2-piece. So finally, Axolut waking up and showing us that they are going to be a contender within CEVO. Of 141 to 157, those tickets are going to be definitely dwindling down, and this is the hold that you need. Why they didn't do this earlier, I do not know, because they're showing that they have the potential to be able to hold this off. As Oakenthor, 14-11, we have in Lesser with 12-2, so they have some guns on their team to be able to do it, and they just needed, I guess, the positioning that they weren't getting.
Yes, and it does seem like having that C hold is really helping them out. Although we do see Q-Ball moving up all on his lonesome on a C as Evangel does go down. Ooh, he does take out Prox, gets a spawn on him, and they are going to take control of C. So a bit of a slow rotation by Axolut, not getting there in time to take down Q-Ball. V2 taking control. Ooh, nice. Johnny on the spot comes behind Pro BJV, takes him down, and you know, just when they looked like they were going to get some momentum and perhaps whittle down some of that ticket lead, V2 responding and taking control of that important outside C point.
Yeah, we are going to be seeing a lot of them going down against mid. They're just getting caught way out of position. We are going to be seeing some backspawns, though, from Axolut. Going to be able to get B flag burned down into their favor. If they stay on the burn, they do stay on the burn. Okay, looks like they're going to leave it there for a second, but doesn't even matter because they do end up getting picked off of it. Trying to go for a back rage, though. Back around to J flag. It's going to be Oakenthor, the only one left up. Needs to get a couple of spawns on him so he can press through into cuts and into A, because right now they are just burning those tickets down like they're nobody business. 120 to 26, and they don't even have a flag yet.
Yeah, this is not looking good for AXT. Just when they finally got some momentum and were able to hold the burn, V2 responded in kind and had a triple cap for quite some time. And now, again, even though that V2 only has 1 flag, well, now they have 2. Finally, actually taking control of Alpha. Watching from Oakenthor's perspective, just leaving himself way too exposed on those steps, not playing the odds. Although Prox, nice 2-piece, taking out Q-Ball and Sky with the AEK, but he gets taken out from behind. And see, that's the thing. I think they're getting a little too jumpy. They get a couple kills and they get too aggressive and get caught from behind. Axolut just not being patient with the kills that they are getting, and it's looking like they're going to have a huge deficit going into round 2 of this map.
Yeah, a very, very big deficit, and one that's going to be very hard to come back from since they just did take so long. But here we are in a two-cap scenario, 11 tickets left. They have plenty of tickets to burn down. I would say like they just need to get around 30 tickets. Unfortunately, they just got wiped off of B, so I don't see that happening. Their player that was sitting back onto A should have been shifting around to C flag. Unfortunately, they elected to go to B. So I think that by the time they try and get onto a flag once again, it's going to be too little too late. 105 to 4. So I think we're going to be going in with a slight plus 100 for V2 in round number 2.
Yeah, and it's interesting because I don't think that V2 is necessarily outgunning them completely. I mean, you look, we see, you know, the top fragger in the server is Oakenthor. Or actually, no, it's Sealser with 19 now. 18-4 for Oakenthor, Proxanana 15-2. Not quite as good from Pro BJV and Kermit, but it's just not having the correct rotations and responding to what V2 is doing properly. Like you said, Brett, they're spending too much time overcommitting and trying to retake a flag that V2 is contesting rather than rotating to a flag that is uncontested, like C. So we'll have to see if perhaps Axolut learns from their mistakes in this first round and perhaps does some better rotations here in round 2 as they do drop a man. Let's hope he gets back in. We had a bit of a delay from the previous round.
Yeah, well, actually, I think we had just a huge misunderstanding because they're dropping all of their players. So I believe they were under the understanding that we were only playing one round of each map. So it looks
read the rules, guys. Come on.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to be conceding. Maybe the rules aren't clear enough. I'll go back and talk to our admin and make sure that we're in the right, because I believe we are. I cannot see us going by one round per map. I don't really see that being the situation, but I may be completely wrong and have been telling these teams the completely wrong way to do things. But it does look like that V2 is going to take the win on that match. And yeah, so if we look over here onto the brackets, we got a little bit of an update going on. So as we said before, Bottom Frag versus Flat Gaming, No Mercy versus Noobs in War. So No Mercy did win against Strength in Numbers. Noobs in War ended up taking it looks like a very close match against Alpha Force. They will be moving on. Let's see, Sounds Like a Plan versus Assault Team. And we do know that V2 Actual just took out this match, so they are going to be going on against Faction Esports, who ended up taking 2-0 against Mortadell, who in the group stages was an unknown. Unfortunately, we never did stream them. I kind of wish that we did, because they did have some of those games that kind of just came out of left field. You didn't even know where they were coming from.
Right, they had some performances where like, wow, who's this Mortadella team? We need to see these guys.
Exactly. So maybe we'll be able to check them out in the losers bracket. Don't know. But Faction did end up winning over that. We'll be playing against V2 on Sunday. Nexus BF4 NA versus Exertus EU.
Whew, now that's a match we're going to want to do.
That's going to be a very tough match for Nexus. Once again, they've had roster changes of their own. Exertus EU, they've also had roster changes, but they're starting to gel. We're seeing them playing a lot more consistently over in the EU scene. They are, even if they, compared to the EU scene to the NA scene, they are still the dominant team, I would think, in that matchup. And it's going to be Nexus playing from behind the entire time. So while Exertus EU, they need to scrim for it, they don't have to worry about it, I would say, entirely. Where Nexus BF4, they have to put their nose to the grindstone. They're going to have to scrim a lot to try and take that one. The starting map for round number 2, by the way, guys, is going to be Zavod.
Yes. So and again, the format, best of 3 guys in the playoffs. So it'll start on a default map. As Brett said, it'll be Zavod for this next round. The loser of the first map will choose the second map as well as choose side on that map. If potentially you need a third map tiebreaker, the loser of the second map will do the same. They'll choose the tiebreaker map and they will choose side. So a huge format change. Again, the tickets also reverting from 250 from the group stages down to 200. And again, we are going to confirm with the admins that we are correct on the rules. I believe there was a misunderstanding. You still play, at least as far as we're concerned, you play 2 rounds on each map, and it's still best of 3.
Yeah, best of 3 map. I like I said, I cannot see I don't fathom where it was just 1 round on 1 map. That just makes no sense. That would be like playing back in Battlefield 3, 1 round on Sign Crossing, and you got the US spawns, and you're screwed.
Right, exactly. It's like, okay, guys, you're screwed, so let's move on to the next map. You may as well not even play.
It's just not right. I don't see that happening for that one. But anyways, going on in throughout the brackets, we are going to be having Lights Out moving on against FAV. Very good match there. They will be playing against Epsilon in their matchup. So that right there is wow. That's a tough one.
Good luck, boys.
And then we haven't figured out who won the Intis Vias and Aegis match. I'm actually trying to message one of the players from Aegis to give me an update on that, but we don't know it just quite. I was going to use that as one of our backup matches. Definitely looking forward to that. Hoping it was going to be a good one. And then Axiom Gaming winning the forfeit against Team Requiem. They will be playing the winner of Intis Vias and Aegis. And then Project Mayhem, I would say, with the upset
huge upset
week right there, taking out Exertus NA 2-0.
And if you're Vivacity Esports, you got to be a little worried because they're probably sitting in that position thinking, okay, guys, let's gear up. We're going to be facing Exertus NA. Now, facing Project Mayhem, perhaps an unknown quantity for these guys, well, you got to be a little nervous.
I would say he actually would be happy. Because
really?
Here's the thing. If you look at the roster that Exertus played with, it was by far not one of their best rosters. They don't play together. It's not some of their best players. I hate to point out Mad Dog here, but I mean he went negative like 20-something. So honestly,
ouch.
You know, with that situation right there. Sorry, Mad Dog. I know
we love you. We love you, bro.
He's probably gonna text me and be like, "You fucking asshole." I'm sorry for saying that. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry.
He said friggin'. He said friggin', folks.
That's right.
We're on a delay. Someone bleep that.
Yeah, where's the bleeper when we need it? But anyways, I think Vivacity is sitting really good right now. They got to be smiling from ear to ear because they don't have to play the Exertus NA team that they thought they were going to have to play. Instead, they have to play Project Mayhem, which not taking anything away from Mayhem, but I think Vivacity has that one. Now, the only thing that they have to worry about is Axiom. Axiom is a very strong team. They're one undefeated. That
we saw them last week against who was it? Assault Team, I believe. They just rolled through, and they basically, I think you, Brett, commented several times that it seemed like they were essentially pubbing it. So for a team to pub and win in such convincing fashion, you got to be a little nervous about facing a team like that.
Yeah, okay, so from what I understand, it was just a language barrier issue. Evangel is letting me know what's going on. They wanted to move on to a different map, so I'm thinking that maybe they just didn't think they were going to be able to take it on that second round, so they just ended up conceding it. So V2 will be moving on for sure. There's not going to be any...
no disputes there.
No disputes, nothing like that. And then if we look down in the losers bracket, Exertus NA will be having a bye, so they're not going to be playing... this week, which could be a good thing because honestly, they need some time to get their act together.
They need some work.
They need to reevaluate the team. They need to get everything together, start locking it down, and get into the position that they were before. Like I said, they lost a lot of their core team. That hurts, no doubt about it. And hopefully they'll be back in fit order coming up. But Team Requiem will be down in the losers bracket. We don't know just quite yet who they're going to be facing off of, as well as FAV. Team Crimson versus Warchild will be in the losers bracket. That'd be
a good match, actually.
Match from the Atlanta LANFest. I believe Warchild beat Crimson twice in the LANFest. So that would be a little bit of a chance for Crimson to come back and make something out of that. Team Mortadella, we don't know who they're going to be facing off just quite yet. Not everybody has submitted their results. Wicked Gaming versus Mortality Esports. Wicked will actually be moving on because Mortality has not competed in Battlefield 4 for quite some time now. So that's going to be an easy forfeit for them. Alpha Force versus Strength in Numbers. Not really sure which one is going to be coming out on top of that. And actually, it's Strength in Numbers B team. So
really?
Yeah, it's not even their A team, which has got to be a little bit frustrating to their main team.
Yeah.
Their second one ended up making it into the playoffs, and that's completely dependent on the type of group that you're in.
Yep.
And it just so happens that Strength in Numbers had the stronger group. Nexus BF4 SA will be getting a bye in that round, but they're out of it anyway, so whoever is going to be facing them will be moving on anyways. But guys, definitely follow this channel. We will be going live Sunday at 8 p.m. Central, so definitely follow us there. You can also follow us on Twitter at CEVO, as well as myself and Brett. You can follow me as myself and Brett. Wow. As well as myself and Mess. Well, Mess and Brett, they're kind of close together, so
they're pretty close.
You can follow me on Twitter at BrettFX. You can also follow Mess at MessBF. And then definitely check out the YouTube channel, youtube.com/playcevo, where we'll be uploading all of these VODs and all of these matches. They will be on that channel. And if you missed any of the past matches from the playoffs, or not from the playoffs, but from the main season, you can go check those out. Some really good matches going on there. I highly recommend that you go through that.
As well as reports
as we upload CSGO and Dota, I believe, that we also upload there. So if you're a fan of those two games, check it out. I believe Complexity had a pretty good match that they
against
played against.
I'm
not a huge CSGO guys. Yeah, but it was against iBuyPower. That's also uploaded on the channel. So if you want to go check that out, do so. And you can also follow us, of course, on this channel. Like I said before, hit that follow button. Definitely stick around because we will be casting more into the future. And go check out the website, youtube.com or www.cevo.com. Click on the Battlefield 4. It's bad, guys. It's bad. I'm just going to let Mess take over. Mess, take over. Take over, Mess.
I think Brett's a little tired, guys, but yeah. So you want to check us out on CEVO.com. Obviously, you can check out all the events that's going on. You can see the brackets there live for tonight. If you want to watch the VODs, you can check us out on youtube.com/playcevo. Or if you really don't want to listen to us talking, you want to find all these links, you can look down below right where we're streaming. There's all kinds of links down there. There's links to the Facebook. There's links to the CEVO Twitter. There's links to the YouTube. There's links to the other CEVO channels. All kinds of content for you guys to consume. So definitely check that stuff out. Again, we are casting the playoffs every Wednesday and Sunday until this thing is concluded. It's a double elimination playoffs, best of 3 map scenario. And some interesting developments here in the first round. We did see Exertus NA, the great white beacon of hope for the North American community, going down in the first round to a South American team. So quite devastating for us. But if any team is going to make it through the losers bracket, I think Exertus NA is the team to do that if they really want to put their minds to it and regroup. But perhaps one of those other North American teams looking to step up and make a name for themselves, the bottom frags, even the potential teams like Vivacity wanting to step up on that next level. Axiom Gaming still undefeated in this tournament. A lot of interesting matchups coming up in the next round. So be sure to subscribe to this channel, follow us. You can follow me and Brett, as he said, on our Twitter pages. We'll be posting all these matches when they go live. So you definitely want to tune in for these future matches. I know we didn't have some great matches tonight. They weren't necessarily that close, but as I said, it's the first round of the playoffs. You're going to see some lopsided matchups. Moving forward, they're going to be a lot closer, a lot more intense. You definitely don't want to miss them. So be sure to subscribe to this channel. We'll be back on Sunday, right, Brett, for the next round?
That's right, Sunday, 8 p.m. Central. So anyways, guys, we'll see you then.
Peace out. Catch you next time.